Jesse Herzog is a proud sixth-generation San Franciscan. He's passionate about supporting neighborhood, community-driven restaurants. Case in point, his cozy and quaint spot serving new American cuisine. In the Fillmore district of San Francisco, it's Gardenias Restaurant.
Well, we opened Woodbridge Garden when we were our late 20s, and we just wanted to kind of open a restaurant and get it out of our systems, and we loved it.
It was a good run. Yeah, it was a good run. 20 plus years.
My name is Margie Connard.
And I'm Dana Tomasino, and we own Gardenias Restaurant. We do it all. We have a wide menu of meat entrees, vegan, vegetable, raw. It's so beautiful to me. It's absolutely where my interest is.
Fresh, seasonal food, changing all the time. You know, we just put asparagus on because California asparagus was available. We ordered it that night, had it on the menu the next day. And the same with the wine list. You know, I can have heavier, denser wines on in the winter, and as spring comes, I'll lighten up more towards Chiavas and Pinot Noirs.
After many years of looking, we found this perfect space. We were lucky. We inherited something that has such good bones. We had to do actually very little when we got here. We painted the walls this kind of dramatic blue, and that just immediately gave it the feel of like nighttime restaurant. We brought our chandelier in from our previous restaurant. It kind of just felt perfect to us. It still has what we've always been. We feel loved here.
We're very lucky.
It's still Dana and Margie.
So it's nice to see that Margie and Dana have come back and have a wonderful new restaurant, Gardenias.
I agree. Gardenias is a neighborhood gem in the truest sense of that phrase. Mm-hmm. When you walk in, it oozes romance. It's softly lit. There's fresh cut flowers on the table. They've picked out unique china for different dishes. There's so many thoughtful touches. It's really just a special evening to go there. And the food is just effortless. It's not like they're trying too hard. It's not comfort food. It's not haute cuisine. It's kind of the best right in between. And
when you go, because they don't have a huge menu, what do you get?
They're classics that have been there since they opened. The braised duck, it's cooked for 2 hours in a white wine and shallot sauce. It's phenomenal. I don't think it's ever come off the menu. It comes with a nice jus sauce. It's tender, but again, still crisp on the outside. You cannot go wrong with that dish. And then the other classic is the braised short ribs, which is in a red wine sauce with star anise, which is great because you'll see short ribs on a lot of menus, but there was such a depth to the flavor with the red wine and the star anise. And then they paired it with sauteed greens. So it's, we went there on like a cold winter night, and it is just warming, delicious food.
That's hearty food.
Yeah.
Well, I had the short ribs as well, and they were to die for. Okay. Completely succulent, melt in your mouth, tender. And I've always wanted to use this word on a food show. It's unctuous. I literally could eat that dish every day for the rest of my life and die a happy man.
Yeah. It was a cold night, and I came in and had squash soup, my favorite squash soup. It had a very smooth base, but the interesting twist was that it had lumps of the squash and also chickpeas in it with a slight coconut and sesame flavor. It was delicious, absolutely exactly the right thing for a cold night.
I started with the scallops, so my wife and I shared it. It was succulent, it was perfectly cooked and juicy. My only regret about it was that they were like some of the smallest scallops that I had ever had in my entire life. One of them was like the size of a quarter, and I was like, what, did I get a stunted growth scallop or something? You know, and so, but it was cooked perfectly, and I did enjoy the flavors.
We had the crostini with roasted pear and ricotta, which was fantastic. And then actually maybe one of my favorite things I had recently was a shaved Brussels sprout salad with a light cream and red wine vinaigrette sauce with preserved lemon and walnuts. It was sublime. I mean, when you can do something with something as simple as vegetables, it really shows the talent of the chefs and the cooking crew.
Right, and you're shaking your head.
It was excellent. I had the duck, and it fell off the bone perfectly. It was just beautifully cooked. The red cabbage that was with it wasn't sweet. It was just with a very nice hint of balsamic vinegar, perfectly done. And then there were root vegetables for this to sit upon. It was just a wonderful, wonderful dish.
And did any of you have wine to drink? They have a well-selected and well-priced small wine list, but they have wines on tap.
I had the one from Paso Robles. I can't say it like you did.
Giornata Falangina.
That one, on tap. It was great.
It seems to be a very nice wine bar. If you just wanted to go for a glass of wine, an individual can sit at the bar, which was very nice, I thought.
The service there is fantastic. Yes, everyone's really friendly. I was impressed. The second time I went and sat at the bar with one of my guy friends, a single guy. I think he was overwhelmed by all the romance in the setting and the wine, and he took a shining to the waitress, and the waitress, in perfect professional way, shut him down. And he loved the meal too, so I was impressed.
I really wanted to talk about this dish. It was a pork chop, perfectly crisp and charred on the outside, nice, slightly bitter, and it came with something really interesting. It came with an olive almond tapenade and the salty brininess of the olive and the crunchiness of the almond. I didn't expect that combination to work, but it really worked.
So what about the desserts?
I tried the pear crisp with creme anglaise. Which was lovely.
Angela's
I had the tangerine cake, and I was expecting a very light sponge. It was more like a Greek orange semolina cake, so it was a heavy cake. It was a good cake, but it wasn't what I expected.
I had the tangerine cake as well, and I loved it. It had a nice blend of flavors. It came with a little bit of blood orange, I think, so you got the bitterness of the blood orange. And then when you blend it with that whipped cream, it was just a really nice play of flavors and textures.
And do you feel like you got bang for the buck on this?
All right, so this is where I gotta put some keep it real sauce on here. No. The short ribs, as tender and as delicious as it was super tiny. It was like the size of my palm. And I got like Asian hands, you know what I'm saying? So I just wish there was more of it.
Did you agree with that?
I thought they were the right size for a classy restaurant. I thought it was great value for the quality of the food. So it wasn't cheap, but you know, for a night out, a romantic night out in San Francisco, it offered value for the quality.
All right, this is your restaurant. Jesse, wrap it up for us.
If you want a romantic night out with just elegant, delicious food, Gardenias is the place to go to.
All right, and Darren?
If you value quality over quantity in a nice, cozy environment, then definitely check out Gardenias.
All right, and Angela?
I'd go there for a romantic evening and just have some great farm fresh food.
If you would like to try Gardenias Restaurant, it's on Sutter Street at Fillmore in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-621-7122. It's open every night for dinner. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $45.